Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome to the special edition reading that's going to be all about new moon in Cancer. That is happening today as we speak, and as always I will be delivering the three main themes. I've got the Monology deck here, so we'll check out what are the three main themes to work with during this new moon. And then I have my Muse tarot deck, and we'll go sign by sign. We'll start with Cancer and we'll go around the zodiac wheel to get specific messages for the signs. And these messages, by the way, are for Sun, Moon, and Rising. So I suggest that you check your messages for all three. There will be timestamps, so it's easy to find exactly the message for a sign. But also, if by any chance you don't have time to listen to the three, I would recommend watching or listening to the message for your moon sign, because we are talking about the lunation event, and this should be the most relevant message. There we go. What else? New moons are about starting fresh, turning the leaf, and starting with a fresh energy essentially. Moon in Cancer is particularly emotional one, because Cancer is actually supervised by the moon. It is already very much moon-like energy, and then with the new moon it's like that energy multiplies. They also call it super new moon. So yeah, it may get you into a more emotional state that you expected. This is normal, but try to use this to bring more clarity and cleansing, if anything, right? And I know we talk about release and cleansing a lot more with the full moon energy, but for the new moon, you can consider this like some final purging before you can start fresh, before you can build something that you desire. Also, of course, since this is a water element, I highly recommend working with the water for any manifestations, intention settings, and also for release. Why not? If you are near a body of water, you can work with that. You can even chant something or sing or say affirmations. You can obviously swim. You can do rituals in a bathtub or in a shower. There's so many ways that you can do it, but I will move on with the reading. So I do wish that you use this energy, and let's see what do we need to pay attention to during this specific new moon. I appreciate all of your likes, and if you're new, subscriptions as well, also comments. Let me know what you'd like to see more of on the channel. I've recently been busy with travel and with some life events, so didn't post as much, but this is also a great time to reset and give it a fresh take, I guess, and maybe start doing new formats of readings. So let me know what you'd be interested in. Okay, the first theme, new moon in Pisces. Meditate and contemplate. Yeah, Pisces is about connection to your higher power, to spirits, to ancestors, however you feel closer to. It's important at this time to connect and kind of align. That's what I'm hearing. Understand, maybe ask for some advice. So like, what is in the highest alignment for me right now? What should I focus my energy on right now? Right? Where is my help needed right now? Something like that. Then we have a fixed moon. This is about holding your vision. Once you've chosen that focus, that priority, hold the vision. Make sure that you do commit to it and you start taking aligned action. A lot of times people see manifestation as, kind of making a wish, but it's not. The very important part of it is, yes, you create a vision, you create goals, and then you act on it, you follow through. Even if you don't have all the answers, you don't know all the steps, maybe you know them, but you can't execute them all at this time. It doesn't matter. You need to start somewhere. Start taking steps. Show consistency, show you're serious about what you want. And then finally, the third theme is woman in Cancer. Well, it lists in Cancer. A personal issue reaches resolution. How wonderful is that? And it is full moon energy, but it's still relevant at this time, I'm also hearing that for some of you it's connected to something that you were trying to release or set your intention to release during full moon in Cancer, which was actually in the Capricorn season. So it was second half of December, first half of January. I don't remember the date exactly, look it up. And especially if you're doing journaling, or if you don't, another good way to remember what you were up to is maybe to check your picture galleries on your phone, right? For that time, maybe even like for that week or something, right? Maybe your calendar, right? To remember what was happening, and now kind of bring it full circle to see how it finally gets resolved. Because the bigger moon cycle, we usually talk about 28 days, of course, but we also talk about the 6 months cycle, which is between the new moon and the full moon of the same sign. All right. So this is to acknowledge basically that a certain matter gets resolved, to remember where it all started. But it's gonna be easier if you remember what you were thinking about, talking about, acting on at that time, what was bothering you maybe, and then see and acknowledge how it's now resolved finally. Okay, we will start with Cancer because it's Cancer season. Happy birthday, Cancer. And well, it's new moon in Cancer, that's the most important part, and we'll go one by one around the wheel. So what does Cancer need to know during this new moon? Six of Inspiration, Eight of Emotions. Wow, you need to let go of old habits, or at least one habit, to show up in a more authentic way for whatever it is you're trying to bring into your life, to manifest. There's something that's holding you back, that kind of anchoring you, dragging you down, I guess. Or maybe like you can visualize it as a black hole too, like something that's just draining your energy. It could be a habit, it could be a relationship, it could be a memory, it could be an activity, right? Like something there. Do a little bit of introspection and inventory of what you are using your energy on these days, and see what you can let go of, or at least what needs to be let go of, right? It may not be an easy choice, but it's something that has to go for you to really shine. Okay, next we'll go to Leo. What does Leo need to know during this new moon? Knight of Emotions and Four Voices. Wow. The main card was Knight of Emotions, actually. So it's important to express your feelings, to communicate on how you feel, whether it's positive or negative, but be sure to speak from your heart and to balance yourself out first. Oh, I mean, a side note, we're still in Mercury retrograde, so things can be sensitive, they can be more, I don't know how to say, sometimes dramatic, right, in communication. But this is an important conversation about how you feel about someone or something, right, that you need to speak. This is speaking your truth, but it's important to speak it from your heart, right? Because Knight of Cups in the shadow mode can be being overly dramatic or emotional, and not like being more ego driven, right? Doing the blame game, or having that lack mentality and feeling sorry for yourself, right? Feeling a victim. So it's important to, even if that conversation makes you feel that way, it's important to ground yourself first, remind yourself, what is this conversation about? What are your goals? What are you trying to solve, to get to, right? It should be better than just, letting off steam. And once you're settled on that and you understand in a constructive way, what is this about? Why is this important? Go ahead and have that conversation. Okay, next we'll go to Virgo. What does Virgo need to know about this new moon in Cancer? We have 10 of Inspiration, clarified by the moon, and Death. Wow, huge changes for you. It's definitely the end of the cycle that's coming to its end, or maybe already in the transformation phase, and it is bringing big emotions, right? There's something that either you couldn't wait to drop, or the other way around. You thought that you were doing your best, it was hard, but you're still sticking with it, like Virgos do, right? Very in a very disciplined, very committed way, and then suddenly that something disappears. Or I don't know if it's an investment, right? Suddenly the market crashes and it's like, whoa, what happened there? I put so much effort into it and it just disappeared. But know that whatever it is, it's releasing you of unnecessary hustle, unnecessary burden, and it's freeing your time, space, energy, other resources for something a lot better. The death energy is about full transformation. So there's a new identity that's coming up, new opportunities that are entering your life. And if you had that old habit, event, asset, relationship still around, you wouldn't have any more capacity for this new and exciting opportunity, or even new and exciting life. Whew, that was big. Now, Libra. What does Libra need to know during this new moon in Cancer? Eight of Emotions again, and the Muse of Voices. Yeah, so for you, some kind of change needs to happen about the way you speak. How you speak your truth, how you make your point, how you make an impact in a conversation, right? There's something that's either unhealthy or it's, how to explain this? It's like a subconscious pattern. It's like some kind of program that runs on autopilot, and it's not really relevant to you. It's not true, but you keep it because it just runs automatically, right? It just comes up once in a while. It's part of the survival instinct of your psyche. You may not necessarily notice it, or when you're in it, it gets emotional and it's like it's too late, right? You say something harsh that you regret, or it basically takes over you. Then you can't really get out of it easily. You're already in that situation. So it's important to see how, what kind of patterns lie there. I would say definitely if you have somebody to turn to, like a mentor, coach, a therapist, somebody who can help you with that, that would be great. Or I'm sure you already know at least an area of your life where this happens. Maybe you kind of become rash with some specific person, right? And you know about it, and on the surface you don't even have a good reason why, but that's just how the conversation goes with them. They trigger you easily and you lose your patience, and something unfortunate happens there. So it's time to face it. You're ready for it, and to see how you can transmute this energy and reframe this reality, so this trigger is not really taking advantage of you and your energy. Scorpio. What does Scorpio need to know during this new moon in Cancer? Six of Materials, clarified by Knight of Materials, and Death. Wow. Libra just had, was it Libra? No, it was Virgo that had Death. Maybe you're dealing with a Virgo, right? Maybe you have Virgo positions somewhere strong. But yeah, the main card here is Six of Materials. I would say you're seeing now how to build a healthy, stable partnership with someone, whether it's personally or professionally, right? Like things, like information is coming together. And it took you maybe even more than one, this is your card, Scorpio, more than one cycle of transformations I'm hearing, right? And you were doing it little by little, and you got tired of that pattern already. Like, why am I still attracting this type of a person or this situation? I've done this so many times before. Come on, it's enough. But the truth is, and now it's time to realize that every cycle was important. And yes, you were learning little by little every time, but it was important to do that dosage, to have that specific setup for you to get all the pieces of the puzzle together. And now we'll be able to enter, establish, if it's an existing relationship, something more balanced, more fair, a partnership that will fill you up with energy, that will inspire you, that will bring joy rather than take away from you. Or maybe for a few of you, you were taking advantage of the situation or person, and now you're seeing the other side of it, you know, kind of, oh, now I get it, why they were doing this, or why I didn't see it for what it was, right? So the clarity is coming in, pay attention to that. And you'll have an opportunity to build either it's going to be a new phase of the current partnership relationship where you can build something healthier, or a new person will come along. Sagittarius. What does Sagittarius need to know during this full new moon in Cancer? We have Temperance, choose your energy, and 10 of Voices. Wow. So this is the recalibration period after some tough time. Take it easy on yourself. Do your mindfulness practices. Understand that what you've been through is a lot, even if you've handled it by yourself. Maybe you haven't even told anybody around you, and that's why it feels like, okay, I'm done with it, I'm gonna go to the next thing. It's very important to acknowledge what you've been through and to take care of yourself. To do due diligence of maybe lessons learned, right? Or introducing something new to your lifestyle based on where you've been, how you've been hurt, or where that fear was coming from, and you know what the consequences were. Because even if it were painful and your initial instinct maybe to run away, it's important to look it in the face and see what it is. But don't judge yourself, don't crush yourself. Take time, take heart, be kind. If it brings up a lot of painful emotions, then that's the cue to work on that. Again, go into your mindfulness techniques to get back to balance, to that back to center, and then act from it, or come back to that situation from that space. Capricorn. What does Capricorn need to know about this new moon in Cancer? Eight of Inspiration, clarified by Justice and Awakening. Awakening is judgment, so it's justice and judgment. Wow, again, very big energy for you, Capricorn. Sorry about the sirens, guys, nothing I can do. So the Eight of Inspiration is calling you for making your move, even if it feels hard, even if it feels counterintuitive. And there are bigger forces at play here. And maybe that constriction or that resistance is actually built on purpose by spirit, by the universe, to bring something, to highlight something for you, right? Or to show you how strong you are and you can handle even this situation, even maybe without all the skills and power that you think you need, right? You can still do it. And you know, justice will be served basically, and you'll see how much you can grow from this experience and how it is necessary for whatever you are building, you know, in the bigger scheme of things. So if you're facing some kind of a challenge or potential challenge, just know that it's there for a reason, and yes, you're supposed to answer the call. Now, Aquarius. What does Aquarius need to know during this new moon in Cancer? Okay, it fell out. The Emperor. Wow. Clarified by the Fool and Justice. Look at all the major arcanas. This is crazy. Wow. So you have a lot of power right now, Aquarius, but are you gonna use it for good or for evil, right? That's essentially the message. Be wise. How do you check yourself? Be very open-minded. Don't just think that whatever you've done before, you just need to keep doing the same thing. The situation is asking you for having a fresh look, right? And also think of karmic rebalancing of the law of reciprocity. And if you're thinking of cutting corners or consciously causing someone some difficulty, some pain, think again, because that karma is going to come back to you. It's not going to be a free pass, at least not this time. So be careful with the actions that you take, the choices that you make. It's almost like a test at this time, right? Because that power can be kind of like a whirlwind, you know. You can get drunk with power at this point, so it may, I forgot the phrase, but basically it may hinder your judgment, your good judgment. So very interesting. But also know that this power is supposed to be used to better your life and to grow. So see how that is possible with all the given and all the circumstances. Pisces. What does Pisces need to know during this new moon in Cancer? Five of Materials. Oof. Clarified by the Priestess and Seven of Materials. Yeah, so there could have been some kind of a loss, or you feel like the other person doesn't hear you, or your clients don't hear you, like you're speaking into the void. And it's like, it feels like no matter what I say or what I do, I'm still at square one, right? But it is important to, first of all, connect to your higher power at this time and get that intuitive messaging, or ask for some signs from the higher power for what is it that you're supposed to do, right? Don't stay in your head all the time. Go into your heart space. And then know that, some steps need to be planned. There should be a roadmap of what you're trying to achieve, whether personal or professional, that could be done. And start taking steps, planning them out and taking them more consciously, not just kind of like trial and error and being in that chaotic hustle. No, get a little more disciplined and structured with what is it that you're trying to achieve, and be consistent, whether it's in communication or in your actions, in the way you position yourself, all of those things, right? If you're trying something new, don't be afraid to be honest and admit that. Aries. What does Aries need to know during this new moon in Cancer? Nine of Voices. It's keeping you up at night. The world or the cosmos, and Six of Voices. All right, so you want some kind of closure, some kind of resolution. You want some peace, you want to get to calmer waters, you want something to just magically, some kind of problem to solve itself, or for you to get from wherever you are right now in some kind of a challenge, a struggle, stressful situation that you're dealing with, just get out of it magically, just teleport yourself somewhere else. And that's keeping you up at night because you don't have a good solution on like, what can I do here? How can I solve it? How can I change things for the better? You want it, but there's no clear picture. But know that there is a bigger force at play here. It's some kind of a karmic scenario that's being played out, that needs to play out. So don't rush its resolution. It is gonna be over when it's time. You don't really need to push hard, but you need to be curious and notice what is happening at this time, how you feel about things, what triggers you and why, right? What does it tell you about you and your fears and your shadow and things that you could do differently, right? Where you can be more honest with yourself and maybe with others, right? Where you can, use your better judgment, or even show care to yourself and to others involved. Show compassion. That's very important in any kind of conflict resolution, right? Understanding your position and other people's position from a compassionate place without judgment. Easier said than done, but it's worth it. All right, Taurus. What does Taurus need to know during this new moon in Cancer? Nine of Inspiration, clarified by Three of Materials and Six of Materials. This is your energy. This is like your vibe, Taurus. Six of Pentacles. Oh, sorry. Well, it is Pentacles, yes. 6 and 3. So again, it is about partnership. There is some kind of fear to go deeper or bigger with partnering with someone, right? It's very important. It's not about not doing it. It's actually suggested that you do it because there is some kind of value from this. Let's call it relationship. It can be personal or professional. But it is important to keep things balanced, not to try to give too much, not to start taking too much, right? Keep it more light and balanced, right? If you feel like there is a disbalance or imbalance, talk about it, right? Say how you see things and where you see that missing balance, right? But whatever it is, it's important. Don't quit on this and think, okay, I'd better be doing this on my own, right? Or I'd rather be on my own. No, this is a very important training season for you. That's what I'm hearing. And it is gonna bear very important fruit. But it's important not to be stubborn, as we can sometimes be, and see outside the box for this one. Okay, last but not least, Gemini. What does Gemini need to know during this new moon in Cancer? The Devil. That's a start. Clarified by 8 of Emotions. I've been seeing that a lot. And 6 of Inspirations. Also saw a few times. But the Devil shows us that could be a temptation to just run away from a problem and focus on the good stuff, or the attractive and shiny stuff, right? I just skip through the difficult part and get to the part that I love, right? I'll skip my healthy diet and I'll just go for what makes me feel good in the moment. It is a little bit of a test. It's also for you to see where some work still needs to be done, where maybe some more conscious effort is needed to realize why you're, like, what kind of coping mechanism is that shortcut giving you, right? And where can you show up for yourself in a more loving space, with a longer term view, with consideration of, your health, your future relationship, I don't know, lifestyle, whatever it is, by the context, right? But know that, something difficult doesn't mean that it just needs to be skipped, right? You may eventually choose to close it out and be done with it, but again, face it, stay curious, see why it was there in the first place, resolve it, and put it to bed, right? And then you can shine brighter. Then you can become a more authentic, a more wholesome version of yourself. All right, I hope this was good for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love you all. Please don't forget to like the video and of course subscribe to my channel. And until next time, bye.